Fingen die Männer uns herum an, uns anzufassen, haben uns am Po gefasst, sind uns in Schritt gegangen, haben uns überall angefasst.
Ich habe versucht, mich irgendwie noch zu wehren, dass ich meinen Arm nach hinten geschleudert habe. Ich bin die Treppen sogar noch fast deswegen runtergefallen. Die hatten das Gefühl, dass die an der Macht sind gerade und mit den Frauen, die auf der Straße ein bisschen was reinfallen wollten, alles machen können und uns überall angefasst haben. Das war ganz schlimm. Und
It's a potentially toxic mix. More than 100 women in Cologne reporting sexual harassment, robbery, even rape on New Year's Eve around the train station. Allegedly assaulted by groups of men described as of North African or Arab origin, in a country coming to terms with 1 million new migrants last year alone. The attacks appear organised, up to 1,000 men in groups surrounding women to hem them in before launching their assaults.
Ich habe mir so gedacht, wenn die uns jetzt hier eine Menge halten, die könnten uns umbringen, die könnten uns vergewaltigen und es wird niemand mitkriegen. Wir müssten es einfach über uns ergehen lassen. Weil einfach um uns herum stand einfach niemand, der uns geholfen hat oder uns helfen konnte. In dem Sinn, deswegen wollte ich eigentlich nur noch da raus.
New Year's Eve was last Thursday, but the news filtered out slowly. Originally, the Cologne police said it had been a peaceful night. When the story did emerge, the media was slow to report it. Pro and anti-migrant demonstrators scuffled outside the station as police said they were investigating links to a criminal network of North African origin in nearby Düsseldorf. Demonstrators had targeted the ruling CDU party, which has welcomed so many refugees to Germany recently. The government says connecting the attacks to the issue of refugees is a misuse of the debate, but plenty are fearful. Mrs. Merkel, what do you say, reads this placard. This is Hamburg on New Year's Eve. Newsnight has spoken to police there who told us more than 50 women have now reported attacks with similar tactics during that city's celebrations. The assailants are variously described as Arab, North African and Southern European looking. The police say they expect more women to come forward over the next few days.
Good old Jess Phillips. Do you remember what Jess Phillips said about that? Jess Phillips said, it's just like Birmingham on a Friday night. And I think at the time we all thought, what a silly thing to say. But I've been to Birmingham. So maybe she's right. Look, Jess Phillips is a woman of the left. She's very much a woman of the left. She has only just resigned. I'm going to read her letter in a minute. We can have a look at it. But Jess Phillips in 2015, when all those women across Cologne got assaulted, and we know across loads of places, women were getting assaulted, and obviously, paedophile Muslim rape gangs were operating in the United Kingdom, and we know that basically what everyone was doing is saying it's fine, it's only women. Look, you might not feel that you can go out now, and you might feel that, maybe a hand up your skirt is a little inconvenient. Maybe it's not nice that they grab your ass, squeeze your breasts, say disgusting things at you. Maybe they crowd around you and they all have a bit of a grope. But, migration, it's brilliant. It's brilliant. Loads of legal, illegal migration is wonderful. It's enriching. In fact, it's as good as a chicken tikka masala, our own national dish. That's kind of where we are, right? Now, obviously, if that happened in 2015, 2016, then we made sure that what we didn't do in the United Kingdom is that we didn't also import loads of these men. Because that would be basically saying to all women and girls, well, fuck you, wouldn't it? So clearly we wouldn't have done that, would we? When we know that these men, these Arab men, these North African men, these men from Southern Europe. I don't know if I really buy that these men are from Southern Europe. Maybe they are. Maybe they're Albanian or something. I don't know, but it doesn't feel like it. It feels that they are predominantly Muslim. It's old-fashioned to actually speak these truths. I do understand. But anyway, so the amazing Jess Phillips Do you remember when Jess Phillips nearly didn't win the election? Like it was neck and neck. And then she said it was misogyny. Oh, it's misogyny. It's like, I've had so much misogynist abuse. What she failed to mention is that they were Muslim men. What she failed to mention in Cologne is it's distinctly a Muslim issue. With having a real issue with women's freedom. Now, look, it's not only Muslim men that do that. There's loads of other men, but it was a new thing. It's a brand new kind of, there's a traveller community or two that does this thing called grabbing, where you basically sexually assault someone until she submits, and then she's your girlfriend. I don't like saying that not all cultures are equal, but they're fucking not. Not all cultures are equal, and I think you really need to start saying it. Like, I mean all of you. Now, there's a difference between not all cultures are equal and being racist. And I think if you haven't been called racist yet, have you really even been speaking at all over the last decade? So I think you need to just accept that you're going to be called racist. So anyway, so we have Jess Phillips. Look, it wasn't too much for her about the no grooming gang inquiry. It wasn't too much for her that whilst we were giving mosques and other religious groups, but mosques, whilst we were giving Muslims like 40 million, I think it's 40 million. I might be underestimating, about 40 million to look after Muslims. We gave just 5 million for the entire inquiry into the Muslim paedophile rape gangs to help bring about some justice for the victims. Jess Phillips, who it wasn't too much when Keir Starmer said he thinks women have penises. Jess Phillips, it wasn't too much when her colleague was getting bullied in the Labour Party by a load of men in the unions. That wasn't too much. What was too much for Jess? Well, let's find out what was too much for Jess. It feels like a game show. What was too much? 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 Too much for Jess. Let's find out. So, have we got you? Here we go. Might just change. Something a bit bigger. Let's see what we can do. I want you to say, there we go. There we go. Okay. So, dear Keir, I want to start first by saying that we've worked closely together to do fuck all against violence against women and girls for many years, and I have no doubt you'll have genuine knowledge and desire to rectify this dreadful social ill by importing migrants. Let's just finish it with the sentences that she must have really been thinking about when she wrote this. We've started to make steps towards change whilst in government. No. And I've been grateful for your support. However, it would be remiss of me not to say that real change in direction usually comes from threats made by me in a light of catastrophic mistakes. I think she means in her own catastrophic mistakes. The Mandelson saga, which obviously was far worse to it. Look, I'm not saying Mandelson is anything other than everything he's been accused of. I'm not going to disagree with those things. But is he worse? Like, is that one man worse? Is that more resignable than the 7 decades of raping vulnerable white girls up and down the country? I don't think so. I will never waste a crisis to make advancements for women and girls, and so demands were made and some were met. I feel this resignation letter is very much a Jess Phillips new job kind of covering letter CV thing. I think you're a good man fundamentally. Well, that's just giving you a little bit of a backstop. Very similar to the letter that Rosie Duffield gave, which is kind of like I'm leaving, but I could come back, but I'm leaving, but I might come back, but that was terrible, but I really might come back. Please have me back. I'd love to come back. The desire not to have an argument means we rarely make an argument, leaving opportunities for progress stalled and delayed. Now, this is definitely what I would call a lie. She worked a lot. long worked on by brilliant civil servants. So the word brilliant and civil servants, I don't know. That would end the ability for children in the UK to take naked images of themselves. Okay. So now she's sort of saying all the nice things she did. Not one mention of grooming gangs at all. Not one mention of, women having penises. This is the definition of incremental change. Nothing bold about it. The announcement was meant to be in March. I'm still on a promise that this will happen in June. So this is to do with online safety. And I think if we could stop children being able to do permanent damage to themselves with sort of a digital imprint on things like naked pictures, that would be great. How many children were left without a safety net in the time we dillied and dallied, worried about tech bosses? Yeah, again, great. Labour governments come around rarely is the constant refrain at the moment. And it's true they are precious. Well, this Labour government is not precious. It's anything but precious. Every Labour government in mine and my family's lifetime has forged progress that changed our country and the world for the better. She hasn't said how. She just hasn't. I know you care deeply, but deeds, not words, are what matter, Bab. I'm not sure whether we're grasping this rare opportunity with the gusto that's needed, and I can't keep waiting around for a crisis to push to faster progress. Decency is vital. Calm curiosity is also needed, but so too are fight and drive required. Have a row, push back, make arguments, bring people along, ignore the rape gangs. Standing up and being counted, ignore the dicks in women's spaces. Can't always be workshopped. Politics as is much about feeling as policy, especially at the moment. It's not, actually. Politics is really about policy and not feelings. I want a Labour government to work as I will strive, as I always have, for my own success, my own popularity. But I'm not seeing the change that I think in the country I expect. So I cannot continue to serve as a minister under the current leadership. But please have me back anytime. And I'm just waiting because I've written this, like saying nice things about everyone. So the next leader coming in is going to think that I'm for them as well, and everything's great. So that's my Jess Phillips. Look, what Peter Mandelson did is terrible. Terrible. But there's terrible people around. It's the people that enable them to get away with it that I feel the most anger for. So anyway, so Jess Phillips didn't ever talk about the impact and the what Islam has to do with grooming gangs, what Pakistanis have to do with grooming gangs. I feel that she purposely ignored that for her own personal gain. But she's finally quit. She's finally quit. On that, let me just remind you what Keir Starmer said. I'm going to have to look him up, aren't I? So this is just let's have a look at this absolute wazzock. As we show you another bit of Keir Starmer. Here we go. There he is. Let me remind you, I am talking at Unite the Kingdom.
Parties will draw different lessons. In fact, they already are. They want more grievance politics, more division, more pointing at Britain's problems, looking not for solutions, but for someone to blame.
Yes, you and all the people you're bringing in. Now, I can't blame someone living in a shithole because their culture has produced a shithole, and their governments that they elected or didn't haven't stood up against, whatever it is. I can't blame people coming from those cultures wanting to come to this country. I can't. I would want to come here if I lived in Pakistan. I would want to come here if I lived in Eritrea, in Afghanistan. I would want to come here if I lived in nearly every single Muslim majority country in the world, or countries like, I don't know, Congo. I don't even know how many Muslims live in the Congo. I don't think it's relevant. But any of these other sort of backward shitholes, I would want to come here. But if I were running this country, I would not want those people to come here unless they had something to offer. This stuff reminds me of putting a male rapist into the female prisoner state, right? Of course it's better for the male rapist. Of course it's better for the troon with a fetish to be in with women. But it's not better for the women, and it's not better for us, and this is our fucking country. And if you come here, oh my God, if you come here, you better make this country better by being here. And if you don't, we don't want you. I don't want people here who are economically inactive. I don't want people here bringing their second, third, and fourth wife. I don't want any of those things. I don't think any of us do. It's making our country worse.
Now, that's fine if it's me, if it's politicians, that's the job. But increasingly, it's not. It's other people in this country.
Yes, lazy people. Often lazy people. Used to just be lazy people. But now it's lazy people that don't have any right to be here.
And I don't think that's British.
It is. You can't look. If you don't protect what's British, you can't have British. So it's a bit shit to say to people in this country, oh, you wanting to protect what's British isn't very British. Don't be so dumb. Of course it's British to want to, look, good fences make good neighbours. We can't be nice, welcoming people to anyone if we have to be nice and welcoming to everyone. Because the time is a-coming, people, where all of our tolerance and our goodwill will be used up. Every last second of it.
That is not the decency and respect that we are known for.
No, we are known for fairness, justice and fairness. It's written in our Magna Carta. Justice and fairness. Not pushover. Not, oh, I'll tell you what's fair. You two people over there, you put your kids in morning, afternoon, evening, and bloody night school. And then you two both go and do a full day's work every single day, 5 days a week. And at the end of it, you probably don't quite have enough for all your bills. You certainly can't afford more than a very cheap holiday. And forget about any sort of takeaways or anything. Just, just about manage. You guys just about manage. Send your children to the absolute shit state school. When you want a doctor's appointment, you probably won't be able to find one. I mean, that's not necessarily just about migration. That's just about kind of the underfunding and the mismanagement of our NHS over years, and the education system that just expects nothing of our children, not even manners. But anyway, the social decline. And if you do go to A&E on a Friday night, if you're stupid enough to cut yourself or be really, really ill on a Friday night, expect to wait maybe 12 or 13 hours. And whilst you do that, just make sure that living right next door to you in some HMO might be 12 men that have just arrived in the last couple of weeks who are doing a free college course and get free money, and have, it might be pittance, but it's the tax you've paid. So thank you very much.
But it's here. That politics is with us now.
Yeah, because you've made it. Government after government after government. You have rubbed our noses in this. So now we don't feel so nice. We don't feel like we want to impress our friends by saying, immigration is just always so great. This country would not have an NHS if it wasn't for immigrants. Like that's neither true or untrue. It's just, it's not. It's not true that without immigrants, we wouldn't have the NHS. And it's not true without immigrants that the NHS would be infinitely better. Like neither of those things are true, and both can be true. But I'm sick and tired of being told that we should be grateful. I should be grateful that there are 150 HMOs in my town. I should be grateful that when my daughter went into hospital, the nurses, the cheap nurses brought over in place of our more expensive and more skilled nurses, couldn't shut the fuck up all night. I'm supposed to be grateful. I'm supposed to be grateful that when my daughter had to have more tests over the weekend, that the guy who took out her catheter didn't actually know how to do it, didn't know to put pressure. So her blood, her open vein was doing that into the waiting room. I should be grateful that he couldn't even speak at all. Did not once speak. Now, I'm not saying that the very, very local nurse, who clearly was from the West Country, I'm not saying that she was great either when she put the catheter along my daughter's bone. Like, there's no truth in saying without immigration we wouldn't have an NHS. Because what we would probably have done is trained our own. We would employ our own. Maybe we would even have, like, the positive result would be higher wages for everybody, because we would have a much better skilled workforce.
And you'll see it again on Saturday at a march designed to confront and intimidate this diversity and this diverse country.
What the fuck is he talking about? The march is supposed to give a voice to the voiceless. The march is saying, like, we're on your side. Like, this country, we've had enough. That's what the march is saying, you deaf wanker.
That is why this Labour government will block far-right agitators from travelling to Britain for that event.
Well, I'll be coming from Wiltshire, so you can't stop me, and I'll be speaking at that event. And quite frankly, I didn't realise that saying women don't have dicks makes me far right. I didn't realise saying that I think Islam is a corrosive force in this country and very fucking dangerous made me far right. But if those two things made me far right, okay, I'm far right. Let's do it. Fine. Give me the names and the labels that enable me to say the things that I need to say. And I don't care. It doesn't mean anything. It doesn't mean anything. This man is saying that he thinks it's worse for us to protest against the rapists that he keeps allowing to come into this country than the rapists. Because that's the left. I mean, they're not really the left. I don't even give a shit whether they're left or not. I don't like the left. I don't trust the left. I think the more you give people, the less they'll help themselves. And I think that is a life very poorly spent. And all of us like to look after people that can't look after themselves. But I'm not looking after people that can.
Because we will not allow people to come to the UK, to threaten our communities, and spread hate on our streets.
We won't let people to come to the UK and to threaten our communities. I think you will. I think you're going to. And I think actually what is most under threat is the silence. The silence is under threat. Our voices will break the spell. And you won't be able to stop people talking about it. Look, I have conversations with people all the time in my local area. I live in a nondescript, relatively cost-effective house prices, not particularly many jobs. People on really modest wages around here. The Wilko closed. We've got a Tesco's and a Lidl and an Aldi, and we've got Cash for Gold, and we've got too many vape shops, and we've got barbers, and we've got county lines, I'm sure, drug shit going on. That's the place I live. It's like so many other places in the UK. The schools are shit. The local schools are shit. And everyone round here is talking about Unite the Kingdom. Everyone round here is talking about, if they're delivery drivers, they're talking about the delivery drivers that also work, that can't speak English. They've had enough. They're talking about their companies and the 0-hour contracts and the way that they're exploited. everyone's got the same conversation. We've all had enough. We all clapped and cheered for the key workers, and now we all call them racist gammon. You imagine just getting an absolute whipping in the local elections and then thinking this is the answer.
This is nothing less than a battle for the soul of our nation.
Yeah, too fucking right it is. Too right.
And I want to be crystal clear about how we will win it. Because we cannot win as a weaker version of Reform or the Greens. We can only win as a stronger version of Labour, a mainstream party of power, not protest.
Someone wrote this speech thinking it was great.
And I also want to be really clear on this, because I will never stop fighting for the decent, respectful, diverse country that I love.
Oh, fuck off. I'm sick and tired of hearing about diverse. Oh, so sick and tired of hearing about diverse. It's so annoying. Right. People, ordinary people up and down this country, let me tell you this. Keir Starmer is at war with you. He's at war with the future of your children. He's at war with your grandchildren's futures. He's at war with the next generation of jobs. He's at war with everybody who's afraid. He's at war with everybody who opposes a super mosque, who doesn't want to see the fucking burqa worn in our streets. He's at war with every single working person who has to pay PAYE. He's at war with every single small business that is trying to make their local area a better place. He's at war with you. So, you have a choice. You have a choice this weekend. Do you stand up and be counted to show this fucking prick in 10 Downing Street just what the army against him looks like in this war? Do you? Because I do. I feel like this is a moment. Now, it won't be perfect, because nothing ever is. But history is not made of perfect people saying perfect things and doing perfectly flawless actions. It is built with people and stories of courage and speaking up and standing firm when you need to. Now, I'm going to do it. When this war is won, I know that I can say, I really did my best, kids. I really, really did my best. I spoke when it was difficult, and I stood firm when it was necessary. And all you have to do, every single one of you watching, all you have to do is turn up on the 16th of May in London with Unite the Kingdom. I don't care if you don't like everybody speaking. I don't care if you don't like everybody walking. But these people these are the soldiers. These are the cannon fodder. These are the vulnerable victims up and down the country of the rape gangs. It's those people you need to stand with. Because if not you, then who? And if not now, then when? It has to be now. There are a few moments in your life where you can really, whether something is organized and all you have to do is turn up. And this is that time. So you will see me speaking on the stage. If you want to support what I do, you're going to have to go to the shop. There's some stuff underneath on YouTube. I can't carry on doing the things that I do unless you buy a fucking t-shirt. So buy a t-shirt. So I want to say thank you to Keir Starmer for pissing so many people off that I think more people are going to turn up. This is one of those times. The enemy of my enemy is my friend. Find some friends on Saturday. I am really excited about the event. Tommy Robinson, for 2 decades, while most people were too frightened of being called racist, was talking about issues. And if you want to know whether or not what he said is any good, listen to the victims speak about him. Listen to the victims. And watch how many people come out on Saturday. Do your research. Yes, I have. Thanks. Thanks, Marsh. 555. Yes, I have lost a bit of weight. It's what happens when your daughter's really ill and everything's a bit makes you lose weight. So I wouldn't recommend it. I think there's easier ways to lose weight besides worry. Okay. If you cannot care about the things that they will call you because you know that this is the time is now, then I promise we will win. If you can recognize, Marsh, I'm fine with it. I don't mind. If you can recognize that the caliphate is coming, if you don't pull your fingers out, then I promise we will win. And do you know why else we're going to win? Well, because I never lose.
They say convert, pay up or die, and they look you in the eye, knowing you believe the lie that inclusion was everybody's friend, when the truth now we all know that was the beginning of the end. You didn't fight back, you failed to resist, and now the country is under their fist. No sun, no fun, no sky. All the music now must die. No more thinking thoughts, Sharia council, schools and courts. Welcome to Britain under the brand new caliphate. You're no longer free. Cover your face, your hair, your feet. You're now enslaved in a British caliphate. Don't you love the British caliphate? Have one wife, 3 or 4, when they're knocking on your door, asking if you're reciting the Quran, telling you you're gay and stoning you today. No matter if you're a woman or a man, you didn't say no, you failed so it seems, and now you are under the Islamic regime. No laugh, no dance, no art. Kill animals through their heart. No more thinking thoughts, Sharia council, schools and courts. Welcome to Britain under the brand new caliphate. You're no longer free. Cover your face, your hair, your feet. You're now enslaved in a British caliphate. Don't you love the British caliphate? They steal your daughter for their wife and imprison her for life, saying she's old enough at 9. They will exterminate your dog, a scorpion to your frog. Don't complain, just keep saying you are fine. It's far too late, you're way ago, that was the line. No Christian or infidel, the whole place feels like hell. No more thinking thoughts. Sharia council, schools and courts. Welcome to Britain under the brand new caliphate. You're no longer free. Cover your face, your hair, your feet. You're now enslaved in a British caliphate. Don't you love the British caliphate? Hey, from the cities to the town, all the people wear a frown as they hear the horrendous call to prayer. Getting elected into power every minute, every hour. By next week, a Muslim will be your mayor. No more thinking thoughts, Sharia council, schools and courts. Welcome to Britain under the brand new caliphate. You're no longer free. Cover your face, your hair, your feet. You're now enslaved in a British caliphate. Don't you love the British